the Swiss Masons, gathered amongst the Swiss Masons are the elite members of the Swiss OTO.
How important is Switzerland? Because I've always had this nagging suspicion that Switzerland is very important within the high-level Masonic world, but I've never been able to find out a lot about the Swiss connection.
Yes. Well, the Swiss connection is very important because there is where the banks reside, as you know. So it's a very important.
Do you mean like the Bank of International Settlements?
No, but also where, you have important banking families like the Warburgs and others who dominate the scene and control the European Central Bank. So, I mean, Switzerland is really the fortress, in a way, of Europe, if not of the world, with some of the biggest criminals having money in that, in their secret accounts. But the whole thing is under the control also of the Knights Templars of Switzerland. Mm-hmm. And there is a connection also there with the Memphis and Mizraim, which is important. And so Switzerland has a lot to say in the high ranking level of the Illuminati. The fact that I have now come back into the fold with the Monte Carlo Lodge means that I am now opening dialogue with various Grand Masters in Nice at the end of June, beginning of July. I'm going to meet not only Jean-Pierre Giudicelli, but also various Grand Masters from the French obediences, the various Grand Lodges. And at the same time, we will have an important meeting in Monte Carlo, because obviously I want to clear up the matter in the most honest way also possible for the people out there so they can understand better what's going on. And that means that we will have to start an operation of coming out in a more legitimate fashion with the Monte Carlo Lodge. I mean, obviously, if we don't have anything to hide in the future, and if our operations are fundamentally addressed for the benefit of mankind, we will make ourselves known in that way, because that, I think, is the way we should come out. I mean, the intentions of the people in Monte Carlo is truly, now that they have called me back to preside and be working with them in their setup, is obviously to put a lot of clarity. The first thing that they have asked me to do is to write a new manifesto of the Monte Carlo Lodge. Mm-hmm. So this manifesto will have to be of around 30 to 40 pages. And this has been the personal request as my first thing. So that obviously I make a very strong statement from the beginning, and this strong statement will be an official statement, obviously, that will be made public later on also. And regarding a lot of people out there are criticizing me in many different ways, my dear Troy. Mm-hmm. They are saying all kinds of things against me. Obviously, this is not very nice, but I'm trying with the people that are interested in really fighting the wrong sides of the system and the corruption in the system at the highest levels, because I think it's about time we do that. But obviously in a legitimate way, because when you work in a legitimate way, then you can do things that other people can't do, because, I mean, you're working in a legitimate way, and that is the most important thing for me, following the tradition and working in a legitimate way, so that my actions can't be judged in any way as criminal or against what is obviously the sovereignty of the USA or other countries.
Can you go over what sort of high-level backing you've got within America that's basically protecting you from sort of? I mean, put it this way: if I was like the likes of the current administration, I'd be doing my darndest to make sure that you don't go anywhere very quickly. I mean, I know you've had the accident today with the car and
Yes,
all of that.
yes,
But I mean,
yes, there was a garage.
That wouldn't be a one-off situation. So, I mean, you know, are you able to sort of like go into the sort of the backing that you've got, the support that you've got?
The support that I've got is great. I mean, I have a lot of Freemasons here in the United States who have understood and understand that my position is very important for re-establishing a little bit of order in this chaos. And but also, obviously, I'm very critical about a lot of things that the local Freemasons have also endorsed because of their naivety or the ignorance, including the microchipping program, without really verifying the ethical and moral issues at stake. So it's important, though, that I have this dialogue, and at the same time I have the full support of people within the U.S. State Department, the CIA, the National Security Agency, the FBI, the police. I'm going to have within my lodge, Liberty Lodge, members of this some of these groups as official members of my first lodge, because we don't have anything to hide. We work in a legitimate way, and it's important that we gather more and more support from the inside if we want to really change things.
Do you not think that that's going to scare a lot of people off? They're going to think this is like an intelligence gathering operation or something like that, like the John Birch Society.
No, for example, I'm going to send you something that happened to us today that demonstrates already that the enemy already is at work. For example, we are working together with the militias, okay?
Mm-hmm. Have you made contact with them yet?
Sure. We are in contact with the militias at very high level. And the militias have mostly given us their support, and at the moment we are organizing meetings with their commanders of the various militias. And but this morning on the internet I found that there was a message written by somebody who was signing himself as an important guy in the militias. If you want to send you the link so you can read it.
Yeah, sure.
But we have traced up who this guy is, and apparently this guy is working with the FBI. So here it is. Check out what he's saying. And I tell you, the guy from inside the militias, they told me, the guy is in contact with the FBI, he's working with the FBI. So what is his fucking problem? This Ron Gaydosh, who is signing himself as senior advisor of the Michigan Militia Commando.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, read it yourself.
Yep.
It's obviously, this is what you were saying before. Some people will have doubts. Fortunately, my contacts are at such a high level that even people like this Ron Gaydosh, mm-hmm. who is apparently been an important member in the past of the American militias, mm-hmm. now is put on the side because the commanders are saying this guy is in the past have been involved with the FBI. So obviously this is an attempt of the FBI. Who the hell has said to this Ron Gaydosh that I had mentioned Michigan Militia as one of the groups? I mean, only somebody who is spying on us, who is putting cameras and microphones on us, can know certain things.
Right, okay.
So there is no possibility for this guy to know that I was entering contact with the Michigan Militia if the guy wasn't tipped off by the FBI themselves. Because I have an issue myself personally with the FBI that I hope sooner or later I will be able to sort out. Okay,
the issue being?
The issue being that they have arranged my first arrest in Norway in end of September 2003.
Right. So they're able to do that from the